You're listening to Creative Campfire, where creatives like you come to talk shop, share stories, and light the path for one another. Whether you're here to learn, grow, or just feel a little less alone, welcome to the fire. As we've said, we want people to feel less alone on this creative entrepreneurial journey. That's why we're hosting a 4-day in-person experience in London from September 29th to October 2nd. We have spots for 12 folks who are ready to reconnect with their work, their ideas, and each other. You can join us for all 4 days or just dip into a single day for the perfect mix of creative spark and business clarity. Head to creativecamp.pro/London-experience to get all the details and sign up. Or head to the show notes and tap the link. Hey, Ben. I'm so glad to have you on the show today.
Nice to be here. It's like a switcheroo, isn't it? Because you was on my podcast and now I'm on your podcast.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, this is Ben Moore. He is an amazing, friend to me. He was very friendly when I didn't know anybody at this party for Adobe. And he was very generous and sweet and kind and has the best smile ever. And you'll get to hear his incredible contagious laugh, I'm sure. But he is an amazing architect, urban and landscape photographer who's now infusing people into his frames, which I'm very excited about. Can't wait for people to check out your work, but more than that, to hear your story, because it's really inspirational. And I was privy to it not that long ago at the photo and video show in London. So let's dig into a little bit of your background. What were you doing before photo? And then how did you get into photo?
And let me just say that was an awesome welcome and you're really good at this. And I'll say thank you for having me on the show. Happy to be here. And yeah, let's talk about the journey. So before I was a IT trainer. I was an IT trainer, 9 to 5. And I used to be a teaching assistant as well in the school. Because my mum, she was a teacher, so she had connections in the teaching world with like agencies and stuff. So whenever you was like out of work, he could hook you up with get you through the agency door, and then they can like get you into schools doing like covering TAs or substitute teachers work, which was cool. So then I got a job as an IT trainer, which I eventually, like, I didn't care about it enough, I didn't love it. And that's the problem. I started having issues with timekeeping and there's big clients on the line and everyone's getting, I'm just not, I just don't care. I'm not, my heart's not in it. My heart wasn't in traveling to work every day and just being this kind of like battery, but like a battery, just being used every day and drained.
Well, when you don't care, you don't really show up.
You don't put that extra bit of effort that makes you stand out. You just become like part of the wallpaper, like part of the surroundings. And eventually I got fired from that, which I didn't even argue about. I was happy you're happy that that's happened. Like, you're more happy in terms of, like, you're a bit worried because your money's gonna get hit, but you're happy in terms of like, you're out this door and you're out of that. And you basically, someone pushed you out where somewhere you should have just said, I need to leave,
Yeah.
instead of. So that was when I thought, I want to try something completely different. But it wasn't like photography was, yeah, I'm going to do that. It was more like my friend was selling a camera that he kind of stole from work. He stole from his workplace. Yeah, it's a bit mad. He was selling it to me. I know, don't. It's a trick.
Like, time was basically forced onto you, right? Someone else basically ripped the Band-Aid off and was like, Ben, this is not a good fit anymore. Go out into the world and do something else. And you were given basically this gift of time. And yes, money is, you need money to pay bills and things like that. But now you had time to kind of, I don't know, recalibrate, find something that did excite you.
100%, 100%. And so I remember my friend, he sold me this camera, which was a Nikon D3000, with a kit lens.
Oh, this is where the Nikon comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, so and that's where, it just fit perfectly for me. And it was like, okay, I don't know how to use this thing at properly. I'm looking online and seeing people's pictures and thinking, oh, they look really good. How's he get it so the white, so really white? Even the white balance was an issue. Do you know what I mean? And you're thinking, they're using all the white palettes, so the white is fine. I do.
Yeah. Why is it not white?
Why is it still egg white? It's still egg white, So I remember, so that happened, and then what happened was, you try to do a quick thing. You try to do it quickly, so you try to like quickly get a website together, even though you've not really got any photos. I did a shoot for my friend, which she had a music video, and I took so many photos. I took like 10,000 photos at this behind the scenes.
That's a lot of photos.
That is the side of an amateur, yeah, where you don't know which photos are good photos. So you take so many, hoping that you'll find that one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're searching for it, but you don't know what looks good yet. So you're taking more, hoping that it's just gonna hit me. I'm gonna be like, that's the one. But it doesn't, because your eye is not there to notice what a good photo looks like yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you were in the beginning stages of figuring it out.
100%. And it was funny because it was like, you don't know the journey you're on. You have no idea. You're just thinking, I said, if I do this enough, it will come out.
It will find me.
Yeah,
It will find me. Yeah.
It'll start to work. So yeah, that happened, and then eventually I had to get a job, which got me back into the TA work, where it was like a part-time. So because as a TA, you're only working 6 hours a day at the schools. It was an EBD school as well, which was really cool because they only had like you're in a classroom. There's like the maximum students could be 7, and there's like 3 teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you could just sit there reading a book, and as long as things don't get out of hand, you don't even need to. But I like to get involved. It was weird. I should have just kept myself. But like, yeah, it was.
You're like, I could have just read photography books the whole time, exactly, but I was teaching.
Exactly. I was like getting involved and trying to help, But I did like it. I did like it a lot, and I was doing that alongside photography. So then I was trying to build up the whole. You get people like birthday parties, friends, christenings, weddings, all of that sort of stuff. It wasn't really my stuff. I was shooting for them.
Right.
I wasn't building
you were still figuring it out.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have anything where I'm like, what do I even like to shoot? I don't even know. What I mean? At that point, it was more, I need to make money. Money was fueling kind of, not the photography, but kind of, if I want to keep doing this, it's got to somehow make something so I can live to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like by that time.
Yeah.
So it was more like, if you want to be a photographer, you gotta kind of like I was saying I'm gonna say yes to every job. I said to myself,
you were in the season of yes.
I said, like that film, that film, that Yes Man with is it Jim Carrey? And he goes, my life is so boring, and I'll start saying yes to everything, just to, even if I don't want to do it. Found myself in this situation where I was saying yes, and I also had an ad on Gumtree, which is like an online thrift store, where you can like put jobs up, or you can sell stuff secondhand, or you can,
It's almost like a Craigslist.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. And I had an ad I would bump up to the top, say photographer for hire. I'd have my pictures on there. I got a lot of work from that actually. It really, like, you get some weird
requests.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you were being pretty scrappy, it sounds like, right? Like you had this camera, you were taking lots of photos to try to figure out what's working, what's not working. And literally you were advertising yourself to say, I'm a photographer, hire me. I'm a photographer, hire me. Telling everybody, I'm a photographer, hire me from the get-go. I mean, that's pretty, I would say, brave. Like, cause you were like, I don't really know. I just jumped off the building. I have no idea. I don't know if there's a parachute. I'm just floating around trying to figure it out.
It's true. I felt like, I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't take a decent picture. I I didn't know, but I felt like I could. So with that feeling, felt like the confidence had you had to build up the confidence, and I felt like if I'm not shooting, then I'm not gonna get better. I need to keep shooting. So jobs, and it would be like the money weren't great. Like you're talking like £50 for a shoot, so £50 an hour or something like that. Not great money, or 50. It'd be like $60. If you're like negotiating for that. You're just trying to get something rather than nothing because you got bills to pay and you want to keep doing this. And it was like, I think over time you start to build confidence, and I think you just need to keep putting the time and you keep practicing, and that confidence will get even more inflated where you can charge more money and feel confident about charging that money. Because at the start, you don't feel too confident about charging. You're like, yo, man, you happy? You happy with the pictures? Like, you're checking because it's like, um, if you're not happy, I can give you some of the money back. Do you know what I mean? Like, sort of that point, I'm sure. And, you know, so yeah, you're scrabbling all over the place. Sometimes you wasn't getting paid. Sometimes you're helping a friend out, but you're learning, and giving that opportunity to be in front of something. I remember if you're not in front of something pulled to shoot, it felt like you wasn't doing anything. Like you need to get in front of things. Some people have that access and you need to get access. And that was the payment, is the access to get something in your camera in order to get more work, in order to show what you can do. That kind of, the chicken and the egg scenario. It's like I want to get work, but I don't know what to show that I can do it. So like, how do I move forward? So, you don't want to, like there were some people I remember they would ask you, can you do this? You'd be like, come on, 2 hour portrait shoot, you're like £50. Come on. And they're still saying,
right. And then you still have to go and like you still have to go like do all the back end.
they don't even, they say, no, no, no. They don't want to pay you that. They don't want to pay you that. They just don't reply. And you're just like, they want it for free. You're dealing with people, no, I want it for free. So it was tough. You got a lot of no's. You got a lot of times where you're like, oh, people are so flaky because around people you hear, yeah, 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 I've got you, and then you just don't hear from them. Oh, that happened. You got used to that. That became the norm.
Which is kind of sad to think about, right? I
100%.
mean, you would rather people just tell you no. Like, no,
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah.
work for
At
me.
least she
And
like,
then you're like, great, I can move on. I don't have to spend all this extra energy chasing you or following up with you or being like, did you like the photos? Do you want to pick whether it's the front end where
yeah,
you're trying to like land them
yeah, a
or the
job.
back end
Yeah.
when you're trying to be like, what one do you want?
What is when so you're networking, they say, yeah, they hook you up, and then you're chasing them, and they're airing you when you're chasing them. Like they're airing you, and you're just like, okay, this doesn't sound like the person's got an opportunity, or he wasn't serious. And then you just have to kind of like, it makes
Yeah.
you stronger, mentally. It strengthens you because you don't go expecting anything no more. I don't expect anything. You just wait for it to happen. Don't expect. I've had so many opportunities where I got excited and then they've gone another direction. The
Oh man. Yeah.
program shifted.
The famous line, we've gone a different way.
Yeah, and you're just like, all that, and then you've told everyone. You've told everyone. And then you got untell them.
Yeah. I'm curious about the networking side for you. You brought that up. And in these like early building years, where did you find that kind of the camera community? Did you already know people who were doing that type of work, or did you just kind of find people online or through Instagram? Like, how did you discover your people?
It was a bit of like, I'd say a lot of it's Instagram, but in the early days, I remember, okay, so there was this kind of group of photographers, makeup artists that used to get together and of like once every 2 weeks or so to just shoot and share pictures online and stuff. And I got in with them, and it was so funny how I got in with them. Yeah, it was a mess. So basically, they already had their whole group ready. Okay, I was at a wedding. I think it was my girlfriend, her cousin's wedding. And I was there shooting because I had the camera. I'm like, let me try and get some wedding shots. And I'm piggybacking the. actual professional photographer is supposed to be there. There's a makeup artist, and I'll never forget her. We're still friends to this very day. She goes to me, "Oh, great shot," because she could see the back of my camera, and I'm like, she goes, "Are you a photographer?" And I was like, and this was like early days, isn't it? So I'm like, She goes, "You either are or you aren't," and I was like, "Yep, you're right." And she said, "Look, if you don't believe you're a photographer, how do you expect someone else to?" And I was like, "Yep, you got a point there." So we started clicking because like that, those are the sort of people you need that challenge you, you know. So she was like, "Oh, you need to come to this thing. There's gonna be some models there, makeup artists." So she invited me. It was called LSS, London Speedlight Scene, because they all shoot with remote speedlight flashes. Yeah. She invited me there. I don't think she was supposed to do that, but she was just one of the makeup artists. So I just turned up, and the guy was like, "Who are you, man?" I'm like, "I'm ready to shoot the thing," and they just let me in. Like they didn't kick me out, and I just met them all and all that, and then
It's your smile, Ben. That's
I
why.
don't know how I
You're
got
just
in there. It
smiling up
was
there.
crazy.
You charmed them.
That was my network. Those guys where we were shooting models, makeup artists, and it was like we would create these crazy shoots. Like, and I didn't know that was what I wanted to shoot. Like that wasn't, I didn't know if that was me, but it was something, you know, and it was kind of something where I'm meeting people, I'm getting better, the photography's getting better, we're shooting more. And then yeah, I kind of fell off that after where they started charging the photographers for the shoots after in a while. They were like, no, the photographers have to pay. And I was just like, what? I didn't agree with that. The theme he had, he liked this kind of boudoir, gothic kind of look, you know, like moody, kind of sexy, but gothic vibes going on, like crazy vibes. And that ain't me, right? That ain't me. So the problem is when he's booking a location, like these locations are some like,
Just like it was very dark. It was like very dark themed and very medieval.
but that's what he liked. So the person who's in charge, who's booking it, is going for what he likes, right? And if you don't like it, that's your problem. Or you pay or you don't shoot, right? So I started dropping off, like not going to certain ones. I'm like, no, I don't want to shoot that. That's crazy. What's that? So, but meantime, like, you know, you've been building up a portfolio, you've been building up. But you're confident, you're getting more confident. So I felt like I'm gonna have to leave these guys and go in a different direction because they're not aligning. And it all fell apart now as well. I don't know, they're not doing it no more. Everyone's gone different ways. Even the guy who was head of it, he's gone in a different way as well.
But I think this is part of that growth phase,
Yeah,
right? Where you were kind of trying everything,
yeah,
literally like,
yeah.
oh, I
It's
don't know if that fits.
yeah,
Let me try that on. I'm going to try that on. I'm going to try that on. And now you're
100%.
like, that's not me. I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not me. I don't want to do that anymore. So you're
100%.
like box ticked. I
Yeah,
can I can move on from that.
yeah, and I take what I learned from it because I still shoot portraits now, and I think I learned a lot of things from shooting that, and I can take it into where I'm going. And it's all about taking these little bits with you whenever you do stuff, and just taking it, and you don't know where you're going to use it, but it's nice to have. Um, so from that, I went on to Instagram where I started posting on Instagram. I started taking Instagram more seriously. I'm trying to think why. But I was on Instagram. I was putting stuff on there like jobs because I had a guy who worked in the FA. He worked with the FA. And he used to get me like jobs with football and sport and any event job he'll get me and he'll pay me as well, which was cool. So I started like building up a little clientele of people that would get me work now and again, you know. Um, and then so, but I still wasn't shooting for myself. And then one day I remember I bought a wide angle lens and I was like, I'm gonna go and shoot architecture, like wide stuff, wide, moody grabs kind of images. And it's gonna be at night because that's the only time where I have free. And we'll see what happens, you know. It's more like see what happens. I remember there was one time I was into spiral staircases as well. I love shooting staircases. I was like, let me go to let's find every spiral staircase I can find in London. You know, let me just, you know, you're just doing stuff and there's something interesting to shoot. And think the architecture side it hooked the people a bit as well because I love putting people into these massive architectural spaces, as you can see from my latest post, or one of my latest posts. But I love doing that, and that stuck with me where to the point where I was like, yeah, this is me. This is something I will get up at 6 a.m. to shoot. This is something that I'll put that extra mile in. Or if I'm even tired and I want to go home, but I've got one location, I'll go and shoot. You know what I mean? Like, you want to find something where you'll put that extra effort in to get that shot. And I found it. And that's where things became simple, you know? It became easy where I had to like, okay, now let me focus on this, put everything into this, and start taking Instagram 1,000% more seriously, which means shooting with a nice camera just to post images on Instagram, which means commenting and replying to everyone's comment, doing stories and posting. Like I said, I'll post every day. I think I posted every day for like 3 or 4 years on Instagram. I didn't miss one day, and that fueled me to get content. And then that started building up a Instagram clientele of friends, networks, brands started coming in. And yeah, that's where things really started going in a direction where I was like, yeah, this is more what this is how I want to do it. This is how I want my photography journey to be. And it fit my lifestyle completely because it was super flexible. I didn't have anyone saying you have to do this at this or do it was all up to me, you know.
Well, I think what is an interesting point here is something clicked,
Yeah,
right? Whereas
yeah,
you, I mean, not to be cliche with the camera and the clicking,
literally.
but literally, like you had tried all these different things, and then that wide angle lens idea of like,
Yeah,
I'm going to go shoot
yeah.
architecture. And then there was this little kind of growing enthusiasm, right? Of like, well, that was fun. And I like you said, you like staircases, right? You have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah,
staircases, but it's like, oh, well, now I can see how can I shoot them differently? And can I get access to that one?
yeah,
And when can
yeah,
I go here? And then all
yeah.
of a sudden that enthusiasm kind of snowballs into like really like excitement and then all the nuanced things that you start to pick up on
Hmm.
and that shooting at dawn or shooting at night where you're really looking at light and well the buildings aren't going anywhere,
Yeah,
right? they,
exactly.
they don't disappear, so
Exactly.
you could start to study like, oh well, what's the light going to look like at 10 p.m tonight
Mm.
versus 6 a.m in the morning? Can I get different things? And I'm wondering, when did like your aerial stuff start to come
Oh.
in? Because like there's definitely this shift where, well, and I want to go back to before I get into your aerial stuff,
Yeah,
I'm going to put a pin in
yeah,
there
yeah.
for right now because you mentioned Instagram and taking Instagram seriously, and there's something about your captions that go with your photos. You are Mr. Quotable. You have these great little nuggets, these really powerful and punchy, like sometimes one-liner,
Mm.
and I'm like, Ben, where's that philosopher? I didn't know this was like a thing.
Okay, so that goes to my name. So I my name's Ben Moore, right? I didn't want to be Ben Moore Photography because there's a lot of guys who are called Ben Moore in this earth. And if you type in Ben Moore Photography, you'll find a different photographer who shoots different things where I've been mistaken because someone actually thought that was my I think, website. And I was like, no, 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 no. So I changed it to Be More. And when I did Be More, I I thought inspired, be more inspired became my slogan because I wanted to inspire people because I wanted to once I felt this kind of euphoria of finding what I want to do and I just wanted other people. I feel like everyone can do this. Everyone's got that thing that they're good at and they can become like their greater self, and find their meaning for what they're meant to do on this earth. And I feel like me going through this and finding that, I want to inspire other people to do the same. So that's why I kind of link it with my photography, where it's with the quotes. So I'm always trying to push people, and I try to use my image. I try to use the meaning in the image. So if it's an image with lines, or if it's an image with, a drone image overseeing the world, I'm gonna use that to to talk to people and to kind of move them into a positive place, wherever that be, wherever that may be. I don't know. I don't know wherever what everyone's situation is at the present time. But if I could just, you know, inspire someone to just maybe get off their butt and do something different that day that helps them, then I'm that's my, you know, that fuels me. So I try to use what I'm doing to inspire other people to get to do what they want to do. And a lot of these things, you know, we do where it's photography or, you know, you could be doing anything else. You could be doing your own business, could be an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, they're all linked in terms of someone got off their butt and started doing something and it felt good and it made sense to their lives. And it's all about finding, like, searching for what it is and just going out and doing it, you know. And if I can inspire the next generation of photographers, freelancers, whatever you're doing, I'm gonna do everything in my power to do it because I love that how I felt when I found this, when photography found me. I say, I want other people to feel the same way because it feels fantastic when you get paid for doing what you love. It feels fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I will say I love when you post because I'm like, there's a new quote by Ben. There's a new quote. What's the quote? I gotta go see the quote. It's so good. It's like a signature of yours now. I mean, you're kind of known for that. Like when there's a post, I know there's going to be a great quote or a really good story behind it, and it's always very exciting.
I'm happy you said that. I'm so happy you said that because I feel like they just go out there and I just feel people are just like, oh, they...
Oh no, it's good stuff. I mean,
Okay,
like
fantastic.
for the listener, the one listener that I probably have, I'm gonna pull up Ben's
Oh, no,
latest
you're gonna put me
post,
on
and we're gonna
blast.
see
You're gonna
what
put me on blast.
this one was from 2 days ago. It's your lines. I believe it's from your New York series.
Oh yeah.
And the caption says lines create direction, but repetition gives rhythm. Together they turn structure into story. What story are your lines telling? Oh my God. So good. So good. And then he always puts his hashtag inspires.
Yeah.
And two of our friends, Miss Lucy.
Yeah.
So Juicy Pam, she put so clean with a little gem.
Yeah.
And Bay Lupus, another good friend of ours, says so inspiring, Ben. And I couldn't agree more.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That is that little moment in a nutshell, you know, just taking someone out of their day for that, like that 2 minutes they see my post and maybe swipe across and read and then they're just like, good points, good moves, yeah, making sense. Just keep it moving, you know, you gotta keep it moving. So
as you developed this style and your creative eye got more honed in, especially around architecture and urbanscape, when did the aerial stuff come into play?
So that's another thing. So you know the guy who I bought the camera off, yeah?
Yeah, the guy that sold you the camera that was his camera?
He's like, okay. So one day I remember this was like, so this is still in the early days, a bit. Instagram is still popping here because he was doing Instagram as well. He was kind of like, we were both kind of like comparing likes and stuff. Oh, I got 500. Oh, I got 700. You know, like getting like,
it was like a contest.
It was really cool because it wasn't even, there was no malice in it as well. You know, there was where there's no hate. It's just, oh, how did you do that? Oh, man, what? I don't understand. How did your post get? You know what? Oh, Instagram was so nice back then. It's getting better, but it was so nice. So one day he just come up to me and goes, yeah, I'm buying a drone. And I'm like, what? Really? What's going on? And he was like, yeah, no, I'm buying a drone. I'm going to get some drone shots. And I'm like, what? In my mind, I just didn't even think about it. So I was like, oh, if you're buying a drone, I'm going to buy a drone then. So literally, he bought a drone. He bought a drone, right? I bought one. And it was like, we used to go like around and fly it together and try and get shots. And then I just
not get in trouble.
No, yeah, this was early though, so there wasn't really much drone laws going on. This was like 2016, 2017. So then I just took it to another level. I started going on Google Maps, searching for any shapes I could see in the sky, any symmetrical kind of roads or anything really cool. Because I saw these guys doing it in like Singapore or China. They've got some cool, you know, Hong Kong. They've got these cool symmetrical, and I'm like, isn't that in the UK? So I just scoured the whole Google Maps. I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and I just started traveling, trying to get. Like, I took it to another level. Like, literally, he hardly took his drone out. He'd only take it out if I'm coming out and then we're meeting up. He wasn't he never did it on his own. I was flying around the UK, droning this for like pop out, drone shot, back in the car, go, let's go there. And yeah, I took it to another level. And ever since then, I've got like 3 drones now. I love droning. I can't.
Three.
Yeah, I got 3. Yeah,
Three.
yeah, I got 3 drones now. I've like crashed a couple.
Why does one person need three
Okay,
drones?
so check it. So I had like 3 drones before, but I crashed. 2 of them got crashed and destroyed. So one of them's a replacement drone. This is an older drone, right? This is old, but what I don't like is that this drone's kind of bulky and heavy. So I would end up not taking it with me because it's so heavy. So I've got one of those little mini small ones. Yeah.
Like the mini
The
DJIs.
Mini 3 Pro, yes, tiny. So you can throw it in a bag. You don't even know if it's in there, and it's really good. So I had to get that to replace that because the other one I wasn't taking it. The weight, I was just like, nah. And sometimes I'm not even using it, and I'm just carrying all that weight for no reason. So I had 2. So then I bought another drone. So this is one of those ones you have to wear these kind of goggles, and it flies like a little spaceship like through the air and records this fast. Look, I think it's the Avatar 2. I bought that, and I've
Wow.
only flown it twice because it's a sort of drone you need to go somewhere wide open, right? You can't be flying this around buildings. You got to go like Scotland or to the
Yeah. Like,
desert or
yeah.
something.
You got to go out to the like,
Yeah,
the rolling
yeah.
hills of Yorkshire.
I took it to my local park, flew it around there for a bit, but it's like it doesn't work. You need to go somewhere where there's cool footage, there's cool rocks, there's a waterfall that can go down, all that sort of stuff. But so it's just 3 drones. But yeah, I need to use the other
So
one.
I'm guessing you take the little one.
Yeah. Oh, that one can just go in my little bag. Like it's so tiny. I love that one. That one is really good. That's really good. Like it's really portable, and it's just under the 250 gram limit. So you got like this 250 gram limit where you don't have to like go through so many hoops to get it in the air, which is cool.
Is that what you took to New York recently?
Yes, that's the one.
The little
The
one.
little one. Yeah, yeah.
I have a little one too. I'm just too nervous to fly it in London. I've flown it around Napa and San Francisco and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Apparently we need a drone meetup day.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. The best time is like we used to meet up early mornings. Meet up early mornings, not too much people, not too many eyes, and just fly. I know some people you can fly it around like if you fly over the water, at Tower Bridge, should be okay.
Yeah.
Because you're flying where you're flying it, and they can only go a certain height now. Like in back in the day, you could fly all the way up. Now they've got this kind of like ceiling where you just go do and it just stops. Yeah, so it's a bit more restricted nowadays, but it's really you can get some really like when I get the drone out, it's like oh you're gonna get something crazy, starting awesome, and it's about having that trained eye even though you're in the air. Because I remember when I was in Portugal, I met this photographer out there who was droning. He was there, he was getting paid to like take pictures of Portugal, and me and him kind of just hooked up, like we meet up, we just went droning together. And he could see my eye when I was taking pictures. Like he could see the angles I was getting, the shots I was getting, that I knew what to look for. And that's just come from repetition, it's just having a keen eye of what looks good from the air. I got some really good shots from Portugal. I loved that trip.
But I think this goes back to the hours that you've spent now doing this type of work.
100%.
And to knowing like there's certain things I know I'm going to see when I look at your imagery. There is a certain Ben signature now, right, to your work. Like one, you love symmetry.
Oh, too much. I love it so much I hate it now.
So like I could see like your evolution could be like I'm gonna break the symmetry like on purpose, or I'm gonna have something that disrupts the symmetry. Like I'm gonna have it, but then it's gonna be disrupted in some way.
Yeah, 100%.
Or maybe you're gonna do like maybe you'll start doing like overlay, almost like collage of photos where like one photo is symmetrical and you're gonna split it and put something else on the other side that also is symmetrical. So I could see that there could be some evolution there. But the other thing that I know, one is your strong lines, and two, more and more and more of your work includes people.
Yeah.
And so I would love for you to talk about this recent New York trip where you actually went seeking people almost first over architecture.
Yeah, yeah. It was because I'd been to New York recently. Like, I went there last September, and then I was going there again, and it just felt like if I'm going to shoot architecture, I kind of shot everything I can kind of shoot, unless I have certain access into certain buildings. If I, it felt like I'd already done what I'd tried to do, so it was like, let me try and just like I felt like the street life is never ending wherever you go. You can shoot street forever. So I was more trying to focus more on the people, basically, more just trying to put my spin on what I think's cool, what I think a cool image with a person is. I see some street photographers, and some of the images are just like they're just out of this world. Like you're thinking, what was the scene actually like for him to get this image to look like that? Did he edited it really like super a lot afterwards? Has he done a lot of work afterwards, or was the scene actually like that? When they're really dark and and it's just got the silhouette of the person. You're like, that's insane. It's like what? Because I felt like I didn't want to do that. I wanted to catch a moment if I can, how real it was, the real people, the real aspect of it, and just try and create something interesting. Like it is really difficult, and I understand why people can get like really frustrated with photography. It's not easy. You see these people drop these images, and it's not easy to create a great image on the street. You sometimes you don't want to take a picture of someone's looking at you. Sometimes the scene doesn't look great. You're not sure, and it's sometimes though you can be like you just got to keep that brain on, because there was sometimes where I was just standing there, and I looked up and I was like, wow, like the light was coming in backlit. There was a dude just sitting on the railing, silhouetted, and there was these railings coming at me, and I was like, "That's a bang!"
That's the amazing
It
shot.
just lined up. I
Yeah.
wasn't even trying to look for a picture there. I was just trying. I think I was in Staten Island. I was trying to figure out where should I go. Like I was a bit lost. I was thinking, and it's funny how things could just fall into your place without you trying. You just got to keep looking, keep that eye and
And I think
training that
that's the
eye.
difference between what you were saying before with this kind of the speedlight group, right? Where it's
Mm.
everything's built from the ground up, right? They're
Yeah,
building a scene, they're building a set, they're
yeah,
bringing
yeah,
it all
yeah.
together. It's kind of the cultivation. And if you think about it, it's like a farmer, right? You have to build everything up, you have to plant
Mm,
the seeds,
mm,
everything has to be right, and then you cultivate.
mm.
Versus the hunter where you're out looking for the thing
Yeah.
and you're looking around trying to actually just be in the place, be in the space, see the detail when it's there, and now it's like boom, I get the shot,
Yeah.
right? They're very different mindsets.
I remember like me and my friend was talking one time, and we're talking and we're shooting, and the conversation will just stop. You'll be talking to yourself because he's seen something or you've seen something and he's left in, you know. And even though you're talking, you gotta be so tuned in, to and sometimes it's a look you want. Like you've got a spot where you're like, oh, this will be a great image if someone stands there. But the people that are walking through the frame are not the people that fit the image that's in your head. And sometimes it's just patience waiting for that person, you know. Yeah, but you're right. It is a game of being on the prowl. It's interesting.
So with that, let's talk about why were you in New York? Like what took you back to New
Okay,
York?
so literally, when I was there last time, I met a friend, and she was like, "Oh, you can come back anytime. You can set mine if you want. Like, there's no biggie." And so I was like, "Yeah, cool." People talk. Like I said, people talk, say a lot of things. Okay, she meant it. She meant it. So she hit me up back in like, was it like March or no, May? And then she was like, "Yo, you gonna come or what? What are you doing? Are you coming?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" It's like, "Yeah, book a ticket." I'm like, and that's it, literally. Literally, she just said, "Yeah, come." And I was like, "Okay, I'll get to do a week in New York or so, and I don't need to pay for no accommodation. Like, you can't go wrong with that."
Right, that's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
it's
I know how much you like to get on a plane and go.
airport is like 10 minutes from my house. That's the difference. No,
Yeah.
no, but if like you get opportunity, like you meet people, you get opportunities. Do not, if they're serious, take them. Like I love meeting people when I'm traveling. I love having those connections when I'm on the road, rather than some people don't talk to anyone.
This is why you and I are friends, Ben. because we like to talk to people.
Exactly.
So let's talk, speaking about talking to people and building friendships and partnerships, let's talk about partnerships, right? How
Oh, okay.
meeting people has led you to find yourself on stages, find yourself,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
with like your sponsorship with or your partnership with Nikon and your work with Adobe, just to name a few. So how did those come to be? I mean, I'm guessing conversations.
Yeah, that I remember like a lot of that was Instagram as well. Like these are like Instagram things where you start to build a name, you start to build a brand, you start to build, you know, a network. Your images are starting to build attention. And I remember I used to tag the Nikon page religiously. I used to be like, I'm tagging them and everything because I'll shoot with their cameras. And then I remember like a lot of things happened. Like the page, one time the page got back to me and they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to start featuring people now. Your work is good. Yeah, we're going to feature your shots. And I was just like, it's like a ghost town, this page. Like, what? It's yeah, oh, Nikon, they take so long. We're starting to sort stuff out. I remember I joined the MPS, which is, if anyone wants to know, it's Nikon's professional services team where you need like two camera buddies to join. I joined that, and then like you can get borrow gear. They invite you to these kind of like um we call them like sessions where they talk about cameras and why you should switch to mirrorless and all this. And they invited me one time, so I went there. I remember, and then they knew me. They all knew all the. I was like, right, you don't know my work, and they were like, yeah, we need to get you a camera. They kept saying we need to get you a camera and let's go shooting. And they had all the latest toys on it. So from that, it kind of built up, and I started like talking to a guy. He doesn't work there no more. But I started talking to a guy, and then I don't know. I started getting. I think I started getting mentioned around the Nikon. I know the actual team, Nikon UK. And then during COVID, I think they reached out to me, and they were like, yes, it's been overdue. We want to give you a create a contract and make you official part of the Nikon team. So I was over the moon. I was like, fantastic, you know, like I'll take that, you
You're
know.
like good news among all this
Yeah,
chaos of the world.
yeah. So it's just been a thing of like, you know, building up and just being consistent, keep doing what you're doing, you know, keep growing. And I think Adobe was so I talk at the photography show, as you know. So I think there was one time where um a person couldn't make the Adobe because Adobe are at the photography show now, and they were a man short. So I think it was Ruth. She recommended me to pay. Pays that head of Adobe Lightroom who was organizing it, but they got me in to help out, and then through that, um, then they said they made me do the photo walks for them. They made me do um what I did, I had to do an interview with Pay on the stage. I had to do my own presentation. She got me to do a lot of stuff. So that kind of grew a kind of little relationship there where things got kind of serious with Adobe. And then they started sending me to walks and then now it's just I'm part of the community team where we just help them with kind of changes that they make to the Adobe packages. So it's been a weird ride with them. It's been a like one of those one of those ones, but it's been good. Like I love chatting to them. I love working with them. I love what they do. I think there's a lot of people who work for Adobe now, so it's like it's crazy. Like there's a lot of people. Adobe Max was awesome though. Like they invited us to Adobe Max, and that was insane. So
Yeah, that was the one day. So Ben's mentioning the Adobe Max that happened in London. That was like a one day event, but
yeah.
then they had a pre-event with a bunch of
Oh
creators,
yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, right? That's where we met.
We met.
The year
Well, they
before.
did that
Sorry, a couple of years
the
back,
year
wasn't it?
before. They did that first. They did that first ever photographer meetup
That was the one we met.
at that. That's where we met.
Underground, in that underground.
The underground dark
Yeah.
bar where like you couldn't see anybody because there was like
Yeah.
800 people there.
So they asked me to create a list of photographers to invite. So I invited all my friends. I was like, yeah, these people. I was like, yeah, there you go. Like, so I knew like 90% of the people there because they were. She asked me to create a guest list.
Yeah, because when I met you, we were kind of back in the back bar there, and you were like, "Hey, this is Ashley, and this is this guy, and this is Darren." And it's, I was like, "Dang, Ben's like the governor here. Like he knows everybody."
Which is why it was such a good crowd, right? It was such a good vibes. There was no beef, no problems. It was just all good.
Yeah. So what is, I know that you've got a few things in the hopper that you're working on. One of those is a book. Now, is it a book on architecture?
Actually, a book on London. So what? It's got drone shots. It's got architecture. It's got street stuff in there. Well, a little bit of street, but mostly
Now,
architecture.
was this an idea that you had or someone approached you with?
I approached them actually. I said I want to do a book with a company, and then they changed the whole they changed the whole idea of the book. So it was I wanted to do a book on me actually, but they were like, um, they had already tested that waters, and they found that a lot of books don't do well with Instagram followers. So they wanted to go in the direction of let's do it based on a city, and can you fill up a whole book with London pictures? I was like, yeah, I got this. Easy. No, I think I sent them like 300 or something London pictures that obviously I'm trying to keep the level high. And they picked out, I think it was like 200, I think it's like 220 or 215 or something like that. I wasn't sure about what they did, but then when they showed me they went through the book, it was, yeah, fantastic.
The mock-up?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I was blown away. I was literally blown away. I was like, the way they put the images together, it looks like I was shooting for this book. You know what I mean? Like it looked like I knew they were gonna go in the book. Because when I gave
Yeah.
them to them, I'm giving them to them all random, jumbled up, it's like a mess. They organized it, laid it all out. Images that go together went together, and the book made so much more sense. And I was like, wow, that is insane. It looks really good.
So the power of curation, right? I mean, you kind of talked
Yeah.
a little bit about your Instagram being that world for you, curating high level work, putting it together, being really thoughtful. So seeing it done to your work in a
Mm.
different way really talks to the power of a portfolio that's well curated, a book that's
Yeah,
well curated,
100%.
and how powerful that storytelling could be.
100%.
So where is that process going? Like, did you have to write anything for the book?
No. So I think this book's going to be slightly different. Like, there's going to be a lot of people thinking, this is your book. It is my book, but it's part of a series. It's part of a city series. So the writers are going to be people talking about London and the architecture and the state and how London is. My images are complementing that, so it's about London, but then it is my images only. So the book is completely under my umbrella of it's my book. Do you know what I mean? But it's more of like say you did a book, but you're shooting for a certain topic rather than shooting for yourself and what you like to shoot.
No, I think it's actually kind of brilliant, right? Because you're like, I get to pair up, I get to do what I'm really good at, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
architecture, imagery. You get to show off your hometown, which is cool. And you get be really proud of it. And then you get to bring in other collaborators who are really good at what they do, which is
Mm.
writing.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
to write
yeah,
about the architecture, and they get to make, your image is going to be striking. There's no doubt.
yeah.
There's going to be these
They look good.
beautiful, striking images, and then you're going to get either the history of the building
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the history of the architecture
yeah,
of the building, and
yeah.
so you're going to get those
That
great
angle.
nuggets. But
Mm.
yeah, but if anything, like it's also just going to be a beautiful picture. But
100%. 100%. Like the pictures make up. I think there's only like 6 pages in there that's got writing on it. The rest is all my images. So the book is 90% or 99% me, and my acknowledgements are in there as well. But
that's going to be amazing.
when you see, like, hopefully, because they said they got a print back, they got a copy of the book back, and everyone loved it. I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen anything yet to see.
I was going to say, do you have a first copy?
No, I don't have anything yet, and I'm just like. I'm a bit worried because the guy retouched the images because they said they have to retouch the images because of the paper that it's going to be printed on. It's a certain type of
Mm.
paper that, and they had to convert the colors to CMYK or something like that. And I just was like, what have they done to my images? They look horrible. They look so super oversaturated. And I'm just like, okay. And the woman, but she said, no, we've got to copy the images. Look, he said it's a fine representation of your work. So right now I'm in that mode of like scared, excited at the same time, hoping everything just works out and just falls into place because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just like, I'm not happy about it. I don't want to even promote it. I don't want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm scared
Yeah.
to be in
Well, I
that
do think
place.
that there's a difference between looking at our work on a computer, right? Which a computer is backlit and light is being emitted at you.
Yeah,
And we're looking at most things that are in RGB, right?
yeah,
We're looking at red, green, blue versus when you go to print and it is CMYK
yeah,
and paper absorbs light,
yeah,
doesn't emit light.
yeah, 100%.
So,
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
right, it's the whole different way of how we actually read imagery and look at imagery and how the printing process works. And print absorbs so much more ink,
Mm.
depending even on that paper. Like there's an episode I did with my friend Chris.
Was that the one I listened to where he's talking about his book that he made?
His book,
Yeah,
Test
yeah,
Pigeon.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So like he talks all about the printing
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
process,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's just really fascinating because I think it's something we don't think about a lot anymore because so much of what we do is digital, so
Mm,
much what we do is intangible.
mm.
We don't really think about that the printing process. And even when you have prints, like you have prints that you sell on your site.
Mm.
And so when you send that off to a lab, they're converting it. Like you don't even really think
Yeah.
about it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're converting it to CMYK.
Yeah.
They're making sure that the digital image you sent them and the print that they're printing match as close as possible. You know, the blacks are in the right place, the whites
Yeah.
are in the right
Yeah.
place.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's got a point.
you're not seeing the proofs in between.
Yeah, you got a point.
I'm trying to like get you off the cliff.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fine.
yeah, I'm just, I think you can't control everything in these processes, and they've shown me faith that they want the book to look good as well because obviously they have put up the money to get it printed. They want to get sales, they want to make money. That's their job, and I want it to be a success as well. So I'm sure they wouldn't do anything purposely to
Yeah.
jeopardize the content because that is, they love my images as well. They love my images. They want my images to look how they look as well. Do you know what I mean?
So is there curious like did they give you money up front or is it all based on book sales or is it just like on faith?
Nah, it's all on sales. Apparently, I get like 5% for which I heard. I did a check on ChatGPT. They said 5% for a new author is actually pretty decent because like I'm proven, right? I haven't proved. I've got no sales experience in books. It's a whole different ball game, and if you've got no previous experience, you haven't got anything to negotiate with. You know what I mean? It's like you got the best
Yeah, but
images
I
in
mean
the
but you do
world.
have commercial. I mean you are proven as like a photographer who can deliver a brief.
It's
So
it's a different world. It's a completely
yeah.
different world. That's the problem.
So have you never submitted to stuff like Lonely Planet or Freuders or like any of the travel book companies that are out there?
None, never, no.
All right, put it on your list, Ben, because that's who you should be selling your images to. I mean, you have a whole stockpile of stuff from all over the world.
Lonely Planet.
Well, when do you think the book is going to be out? What's the rough timeline? Do you know?
They were trying to rush it.
Everyone's getting Ben's book for
Oh my
Christmas.
gosh, I can't. I'm super nervous. I'm super.
Breaking news, Ben's book actually drops September 16th, and you can pre-order it online at trope.com. Check the show notes for the link. Well, before we're getting close here to the end, but I want to talk about something that is not architecture that you do shoot that you also love, which is automotive.
Okay, yeah, 100% easy.
So we don't see a lot of your
No.
automotive on your Instagram. So talk a little bit about the love of cars
Oh,
and where we might find you. Are we finding you on the track? Are we finding you at someone's home? Are we finding you on a street course? Is your dream to shoot F1? I mean, I don't know.
well, cars came from like a young age. I used to draw cars. I used to love just the way cars look, everything about it. A proper boy's boy, like cars first. of course, like, you know, I did go into architecture. Like, I would have gone into cars, but I felt like cars was so over saturated. Like there's so much people doing it, you know. Even though it's like it's nice to jump into it now and again, I just feel like it's so competitive. Everyone wants those brand deals with BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini. They want it so bad. It's like I don't think I can deal with the competitiveness of that genre. It's crazy, you know. And people want to show off that they're shooting this car, they got that car. I'm just not in it. I'm just not in that. I'm just not in that fight. But I do love shooting cars. Like if I get an opportunity, and I was chasing it maybe like a few months ago, a few 6 months ago. I was chasing it. I was trying to get connections, and I feel like a lot of that world is you know, people need to like you. You know, a lot of it is like people will hook you up if they know you. It's all of that stuff, you know. Rarely do they care about even the photos. They just want to hook you up, you know. So it's like it's fun to do. I love it. I love cars. I'd love to shoot Formula One. I'd love to go there. The only thing about Formula One, I feel like I'd rather shoot the people there than the cars because I feel like all the people's car shots look the same. They all it's like a fast car. Well done, you know.
Well, I think what would be interesting with Formula One and your work is the mix of fast car, the
Mm.
the environment
Mm,
in
mm,
which the
mm,
cars
mm,
are
mm,
in,
mm.
right? So like if you were there and
Mm,
someone
mm.
gave you a brief of like, we want you to do a 360 story, right? We want you to cover the terrain,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actual like track.
Mm.
We want you to get aerial views. We want
Oh,
you to
okay.
get,
Wow.
you know, cars and people. Because like I'm just looking at your portfolio that you have on your site that you shot the BMW, for instance,
Okay,
right? Where it's
yeah,
like the curvy road,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
car in action, but you also have what I call sexy porn car shots. Right? Like, a lot of people shoot car porn. I
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right? There's sexy cars out there. But I'm like, so if I was to think of you shooting Formula One, it's almost like the lead up to the race
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all of like the stuff that happens where like the cars are coming into the workshop. You're
yeah,
getting the flurry of the
yeah,
team around the
yeah,
car. You're getting the structure of that building, whatever that building is.
yeah,
Like these are
yeah,
all very different based on like the race courses. And I just saw F1 the movie, right, with
yeah.
that
I
Brad
watched it
Pitt.
as
And I'm
well.
just thinking
That's
of
good.
like
Yeah,
those cool building
yeah,
shots, right?
yeah,
And the lighting
yeah,
that like is I mean, and this like when it's raining and it's slick and you get those great reflections or the
yeah,
stay off the back of the
yeah,
tire or
yeah.
whatever. I could see you nailing all of that,
Oh,
right? With like your creative eye and the grit and the dirt
yeah,
and the lines.
yeah. You're talking my
Yeah.
language. That's exactly what I would love to do. It's more like capturing the essence of it rather than the actual things. Capturing
A little more
those little
replicable style.
nuggets, those little nuggets that make you go, oh, what's that? Like I would like to actually be in the pit crew area, you know, that area where the guys are fixing the car, pushing the car back in, you know, the
Yeah.
driver are focused about what he's about to do, you know, in that mode, and just capturing that whole, you know, what the mood is like before a race, how the nerves, the euphoria when
Yeah.
an overtake happens. The the upset when their car crashes, when there's a mistake and the guy crashes and everyone's like that. You know when they're like that, they'll just look at the screen
The
and it's like
disappointment.
the
Yeah.
highs and the lows, you know? Yeah, I think that would be that would be too much fun for me. That'll be like heaven. That'll be a slice of heaven for me to do that.
Did you watch the recent British race? Yeah.
Silverstone, yeah. Yeah, I did. I did watch and I was watching a bit of the grid walk. And I wanted to see if I knew some photographers were there, and I wanted to see if I saw them. But I felt like, you know, like there's a part of me that it'd be so cool if I was there. There's a part of me like, it's nice to be at home and get this kind of view of the race where you don't have to worry about working and getting a shot. Like I think like if I was there, I can't enjoy it. Like, I can't enjoy it for what it is. You have to work. I'm working, you know. I'm focused. I want to
Yeah.
get another shot. I need to get another shot rather than who's second, first, fifth, who's winning. You know, it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Who
so
got the bonus and who got
yeah,
the penalty?
exactly. But like it was good to just relax and actually enjoy the race.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put that out into the world for anyone listening. Ben would like to come, even if it's on like, the pre-race day or the pole day. So he can enjoy the
Practice.
race, but he could shoot all of the practice.
Something to practice, right? Just shoot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So last but not least, NFTs. What is the NFTs that are on your site?
I need to take
And you
them there,
clearly got
actually.
into this. You clearly got into it
Everyone
and
did.
you explain it really well. And you talk all about the blockchain.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that that ship has sailed.
Well, 100%. I should actually. The only reason I haven't took those down is because I actually paid for those images to get minted. Like, there's money being spent here, you know. And I think some people are actually still buying NFTs. I don't know what's going on, but it's not as popular as it was before, and the money's also dropped down. But it was a world I was part of where a lot of people getting into it. It felt like, digital art, digital coins. This is the space we need as artists. Artists are being represented well and being paid well in this space. So why not see if your images can, hold up in this space? Why not see if you can make a name for yourself here? But like, yeah, I think it got a bit toxic real quick, and then I started to I think the time it took to be in these rooms where you're listening and you're talking and you're trying to like get in conversations. I just didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy, the time, the patience. It just all ran out of me really quickly because I'm still on Instagram. I'm still trying to keep that world going. And then you're on this next world on Twitter and Twitter's just, well, it was called Twitter then. Twitter was its own mind game. It was its own ball game. It was a different world where your photos on Instagram are like popular as hell, and on Twitter, no one cares. Like, what you posted the photo don't matter. Ain't looking for it. Like, this is starting again. It was tough. It was tough, and I think it's just those being on my website is kind of like I made that section a long time ago, and I've just never taken it off because I've still got the links there. I've still got the work still there. But yeah, it might be time to say goodbye to that world permanently, which is kind of sad.
But I mean, to your point, right, that you made this investment in them, right, to get them minted, and the NFTs still exist, right? And people could potentially go and buy one of your.
Yeah, cool. Though.
You have what, like there's like 4 or 5 of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like 4 or 5
it
collections.
could. Yeah.
And so I'm just curious because as technology shifts again, more and more people are talking about blockchain again, and more people are talking. Crypto is still a conversation that's happening out there. I'm just wondering if you think the NFT game will come back around.
I think this is a crazy prediction, but I think it will come back. The problem is in that world, it's like the wild wild west, right? You're each to his own. There's no policing. And that's what made it so cool. It was like selling without any someone taking a bit off the top. Someone helping the transaction go through, like an eBay or something. But I think that will need to be there because there's just so much crime going on. It made the place super toxic. So I think like it's gonna have to be. It can only come back if it's being policed, if it's being
Watched.
yeah, with some sort of you pay for something, you get it, you get your money. But there was so much money exchanging hands, like millions of pounds, you can't have that just being scammed and oh, he's got scammed, that's it, £1 million gone. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I do think what's interesting, I don't know if you've seen the documentary on the largest crypto heist ever.
Wait.
It was on, there's a documentary, I think it's on Netflix.
Oh.
And it happened back in like in the early 2000s when there wasn't a lot of, like you were saying, like there wasn't a lot of policing, but like all the digital footprint is there. And that's one thing about the blockchain, right? You can see all the transactions that are happening, but so all this money was stolen. All this digital currency was stolen. And then it wasn't until very recently, like in the last 2 to 3 years, that because of technology advances, they can actually scrub all of these transactions and actually start to see where the money transactions go. Because before it was too many transactions going in 18 different directions or 19 or 20 million. And you couldn't follow the transaction. And now with new technology and
Mm,
new ways to look at the transactions, this
mm,
one investigator, one guy looking at all these transactions could actually figure out where this money went and
mm.
link it back to the people who actually did the heist
Okay.
because they bought gift cards.
Oh, really? They bought gift
Yeah,
cards.
it's super fascinating if you decide to watch it.
I saw one where a guy they stole from this guy. They pretended to be Google or something and said that his email was compromised, and then they got access to his email. They transferred his whole crypto to their account, and this guy had like about 500 million. He had a lot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then what they did? They went shopping and just bought Lamborghinis. They were renting a mansion in like LA for like it was like 60 grand a month rent or something.
Oh my
It
god.
was insane. They had Lamborghinis, Porsche. They had so much, and then they still had more accounts with millions in it, and they didn't even get to spend. Like they just had too much money. Guy was going shopping, I mean, clubbing and buying people Birkin bags just for this. Like, it's like they were trying to spend the money before it rot, and then they all got caught, and some of them are in jail now for it. Interesting hires.
It's very interesting. Blockchain's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is when they think that. I feel like they think they could just. It's like not real money. Like they can just because it's on the screen, digital. You can just take it. It's like no one's gonna know, and then the
Well,
FBI
it's
are
like
knocking on your
images.
door.
People just take your
Yeah,
images and
exactly.
use it for their advertising
Right click,
because there's
save
not a
as.
copyright or anything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if NFT comes back. Ben, this has been so fun. And I'm so excited to see what you do next. Where are you off to? And
I'm off to Berlin.
now, have you been to Berlin before?
Yes, I have actually, but I met a couple of photographers at the Adobe Summit. A lot of them from Berlin, from Germany, and they were like, "You should come Berlin." So I'm going to shoot with them. Let them show me around. I'll be like, well, take me to all the good locations. Yeah, I'm just gonna stand here while you do the work. No, but like I want to shoot with them. Like they're really good photographers, really good. And I haven't shot Berlin from a street architecture, urban perspective. That I need to go back there and actually find some spots that. When I went there last time, I was just looking for spiral staircases and anything symmetrical, which was just the basic stuff. But this time I'm gonna go. I felt like I shot the commercial stuff, and now I want to shoot the real stuff, the underground, the urban, the real stuff. So
So I'm going to guess we're going to see at least one train station.
100%. Love my train stations. Train stations are gold, but I don't think people really know. Every photography train stations are a gold mine. Like 90% of my shots are on train stations.
At a train station.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You got people, you got trains.
So, I mean, have you thought about what you're going to do? Like, other than obviously share your work with the world
Mm.
on Instagram and your website, but I mean, do you have like anybody that you tell, like, hey, I'm going to Berlin, try to pick up an assignment in any way, shape, or form before you go? Or do you come back and think, like, who can I share these images with on the back end?
Mostly the back end. I don't really tell anyone what I'm doing. I don't really tell brands. Well, I did in New York when I went to the first time. I told the brand that I could shoot, and they gave me a helicopter flight for it. But I don't normally do that. I do it sometimes, but I like having that freedom of, I own the images. If they want to jump in, they have to pay me. Like if they jump in at the beginning, then they can try claim something. They can try, get in on the action. But I feel like I want to be the sole owner of what's happening, and then
Right. You want your own creativity, your own art
yeah, I
direction.
don't. I'm not super. I don't mind when a brand gets involved, but I love having that unrestricted freedom to shoot what I want and not have to constrict myself to any brief or anything that they want. I love having my own way with what I want, what are my eye catches. I'd be like, oh no, I can't get that because of this, or I gotta finish shooting for them, then I can shoot for me. I start keeping it flexible.
And are you bringing the Ray-Ban Metas with you?
Oh, 100%. They're going, that much behind the scenes content. those glasses. You know what I love? I tell you what I love more than anything about those glasses is that I don't need to do this.
Oh, you don't need to hold like your like phone or your GoPro.
When you're doing that, people are looking at you like, why would you bring a camera? Why would you take a picture of this? Why would you take a picture of me when I'm falling over? But with the glasses now, I can just go, got it. They have no idea. And it's all natural in the moment. Like with a phone, people will be like, oh, you got a phone, let me just act a bit. But when you got the glasses recording, they don't even notice. They're just gonna be like, no one's filming them. They're cool. And I think that's what makes it so amazing is that behind the scenes, raw footage, real content.
Yeah, I think the other thing about it that just sparked when you said that was it's actually how you see the world. Because the
Exactly.
glasses are what you see,
Exactly.
and you're looking at what you're looking at, not like, oh, I have this other device between my eyes and the subject. So I do think that that's a really interesting point. Like, that's a really interesting point that I don't know. It sounds ridiculous, but it's like I hadn't thought of that.
Tell you what, when I bought those, I did so much research. It wasn't like a light purchase, you know, because they're not cheap. And I thought to myself, am I gonna actually use these? And then when I bought them and I put them on and I was like, I heard it just go boom, boom, and you're like, I was like, yes, this is fantastic. And it just makes you, and it's just like, sometimes I forget I'm recording, like I've recorded, I just press record and then shoot something. I just, because I've felt the need to, I'm going to shoot something. And then I've get the whole moment of me shooting it, the whole moment of the sounds around me, you know, it's all natural. And I'm just like, this is fantastic. This is actually what I want. Like there are some annoyances which are like they're sunglasses, right? Everything's a step down. You gotta watch your settings. Also, you know, you're wearing sunglasses indoors sometimes. It's annoying as hell. Like that's one thing I'm annoyed with is the I was thinking, can I change the frames so I can have clear ones? Just keep them clear.
You like, I need transitions, right? I need so they're clear inside and dark outside.
The problem with that, I was gonna get transitions, but the problem was the actual transition ones, if you're driving a car, the rays don't get through, so they don't transition in the car. And I want to wear sunglasses in the car when the sun's beaming through, right? That's annoying. And I heard sometimes they don't transition right. Like you still see the person's eye, and it's not. It just looks weird. So I was like, all right, forget that. If they don't work as sunglasses, then what's the point of getting sunglasses? They need to look at sunglasses first,
Yeah.
then have all the technology after. So I've got the dark shade ones, but you can buy like different lenses for them, and I might get clear ones and just swap them out whenever I feel like I need to wear these indoors for a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Because after a while, you're just like, you just sometimes after a while, you get sick of glasses on your face, right? You just want to give your head a break. I'm saying that to you.
Yes, for people that could do that. And you're talking to someone who wears glasses.
I don't know how you
Yes.
feel, but do you sometimes go, oh, just take this off?
Yes. Sometimes I take them off because you get like the pain or
Yeah,
you're tired of wearing glasses.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I also see people who have the glasses that have the little there's like magnets on the
Oh,
actual frame or on
okay.
the actual glass.
Yeah,
And then you could just clip your they
yeah,
magnetize the sunglasses
yeah.
onto the glass.
Yeah, they do that with these guys was showing us a aftermarket thing you can get where you can just kind of
Snap them
slap it
on.
on and then have them as glasses and snap it off and then you got clears. That could be an option. That could be an option. But like, yeah, as a behind the scenes content, as you know, nowadays we need behind the scenes. We can't just show what we did these days. We've got to actually show that we was there doing it. I got so much content in New York. I don't think I even posted all of it because it was just too much. You like I had to, but you got like 3 minute videos, and then you need that bit, you need that section, we're chopping and I didn't even get to go through it all. I was going to use some of it for reels because I've got the actual still now from the end of that moment,
Right.
which I can put on and show the outcome. So I need to go through all that. But yeah, I never thought I would use it so much. But yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. If you're somebody that struggles to get BTS, get the glasses
Yeah.
because you're gonna just press the button, get to work.
Yeah, then you're your own shooter. Or you could always put them down on like a table and press record and then go do your thing in the other like section of the room.
I've never tried to put it down. 'Cause I think there's like a sensor which they sense that they were
Do
on
they
your
have to
head.
be on?
Yeah, there's like a Because it tells you when you put them on, it goes battery level 100%. Like it senses that it's on your head. Like it's so cool. It's so, I feel like
Oh,
you
man.
do you like Tony Stark? You know his glasses. It
Yes.
feels like you got his glasses on. Like you go hi Meta. What's the weather like? And it tells you the weather and all this stuff. Really cool.
It's really trippy.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
You're like the Terminator meets Iron Man.
I'm a gadget head. I love gadgets. I love it.
Well, Ben, we're gonna have you back. We
I
could have a whole
know.
show on gadgets.
I know.
You and I could bring you and Darren back, and all we could do is talk about
Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
be really fun.
Let's do it.
Remind people where they can find you online and where they could follow along with all the awesome things you're doing.
Okay, all you need is one word really. Be more photos. I've actually changed all my social media to just one word. So if you Google or you type in be more photos, you'll even find my website, my Instagram, my Facebook, my x.com, YouTube. It's all under one name. So that's all you need.
Be more photos. Awesome.
All one
Well, I
word.
can't wait to see your book come out. I can't wait
I
to see your
can't
pictures
wait
from
to.
Berlin and more BTS from those meta glasses.
Yeah.
It'll be really, really
Lots
fun.
of stuff to
And then
do.
we'll hook up for a photo walk or something when I'm back in London.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you're
I'm
back.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
This was so fun. You could chat for hours, I know, but
Tell
I'm
me
going to
about
put our campfire out for now,
it.
and I will catch you on the next, I
Awesome.
don't know, our next outing.
Thank you for having me. Awesome. Love it.
I need to put the fire out for now, but the conversation doesn't have to end here. Come hang out with us on Instagram at creativecamp.pro. Drop your questions, share your thoughts, and tag us in your stories. The more people we gather around the fire, the better the conversation gets. If you'd like to support the show, you can buy us a coffee and sign up for our newsletter. Links are in the show notes below. We'll stoke the fire again real soon, but until then, keep creating, keep connecting, and I'll see you next time around the campfire.